Imagine the quiet majesty of a European palace, its marble halls echoing with centuries of royal tradition. The world has seen royal weddings before, grand, spectacular, unforgettable. But what if I told you, none of those compare to what is coming? Because just announced, Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark are preparing for a wedding so lavish, so unprecedented, that it is already being called the most extravagant royal event of the century. And here's the twist: behind the splendor lies a story of love, family tension, and destiny that few outside the palace walls truly understand. This is not just another royal wedding. This is history in the making. So what makes this union so extraordinary? To answer that, we must start not with the wedding itself, but with the two young royals whose lives have led them here. Princess Leonor of Spain, the poised and radiant heir to the Spanish throne. From the moment she was born, the world knew she carried the weight of a kingdom on her shoulders. She was raised not only as a daughter, but as the future Queen of Spain. Every move she made, every word she spoke, was shaped by centuries of expectation. Yet beneath the regal grace was a girl who longed for love, not politics. And then, there was Prince Christian of Denmark, the firstborn son of Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Mary. From childhood, he was taught duty, resilience, and the quiet strength of Nordic royalty. Unlike Leonor, Christian carried his heritage with a more understated charm. While Leonor represented fire and passion, Christian embodied calm and steadiness. Two very different paths. Two distinct kingdoms. And yet, fate intertwined them. How did it begin? Not at a grand state banquet, as one might expect, but quietly, years ago, at a gathering of European royal families. Leonor and Christian were just teenagers, seated across from one another, their lives already scripted by duty, but their eyes telling a different story. A connection was born, subtle at first, almost invisible. But like all true love stories, it grew in silence, away from the cameras, nurtured by letters, secret visits, and shared dreams. Now, as the announcement shakes Europe, the question is no longer if they are meant to be, but how the world will react to the most lavish celebration of love the modern monarchy has ever staged. Already, whispers echo through palace corridors. The guest list. Unmatched. Kings, queens, presidents, prime ministers, all preparing to witness this monumental union. The setting. A combination of Spanish opulence and Danish elegance. Imagine golden thrones, centuries-old cathedrals, stained glass catching the light of 1,000 candles. Picture the streets of Madrid and Copenhagen filled with millions, cheering as two dynasties unite before their eyes. But grandeur alone does not make a wedding legendary. The heart of this story lies in the struggles these two have faced to reach this moment. Leonor, burdened by her father King Philippe's hope that she would become a sovereign who could renew Spain's monarchy in an era of doubt. Her every step was scrutinized. Could she be strong enough, wise enough, beloved enough? She was never just preparing for a crown, she was preparing for history. And when whispers emerged that her heart belonged to Christian, doubts arose. Would Spain accept a Danish prince beside her? Would Denmark allow their future king to step into Spain's light? Christian too bore his share of shadows. Born into a kingdom admired for its stability, he knew the world expected him to be a man of quiet dignity. Yet he dreamed not just of reigning, but of loving, fully, openly. When Leonor entered his life, he realized he could have both. Still, not everyone welcomed the match. Behind closed doors, discussions turned tense. Advisors worried. What would this mean for dynastic power? Would one throne be diminished to elevate the other? And here lies the true beauty of this wedding. Because Leonor and Christian have chosen not politics, but love. Their marriage is not a transaction, not a negotiation, it is a statement. That the future of monarchy lies not in cold strategy, but in the warmth of two hearts choosing one another. Now, let's talk about the wedding itself, the details that have already begun to leak. The gown. Rumors swirl that Leonor's dress will be unlike any ever seen, a blend of Spanish tradition and modern innovation. Woven with threads of gold, designed to shimmer like the Iberian sun, yet cut with elegance that pays homage to Denmark's royal minimalism. And the jewels. None other than Spain's treasured tiara, gifted only to queens and empresses, resting upon her brow as a symbol not just of status, but of unity. The ceremony. It will begin in Spain, within the ancient walls of Madrid's Almudena Cathedral, where Leonor was confirmed as a teenager. The vows will be spoken before relics of saints, beneath arches that have witnessed centuries of royal history. But here's the twist, the celebration will not end there. Because days later, Denmark will host its own festival in Copenhagen, symbolizing that this marriage belongs not to one kingdom, but to both. The music. A fusion of Spanish flamenco passion and Danish symphonic grace. Choirs of children, orchestras of world renown, and even whispers of a specially composed piece written for the couple's first dance. But even amidst all this splendor, there lingers a deeper question: how will this marriage reshape Europe? For centuries, royal marriages were tools of diplomacy. Kings wed queens to secure alliances, to silence wars, to expand empires. But this union, it is different. Leonor and Christian do not unite Spain and Denmark by treaty, but by heart. And yet, that choice may carry consequences more profound than politics ever could. Because in a time when many question the relevance of monarchy, this wedding could ignite a renaissance of royal relevance. Two young heirs, marrying for love, standing as symbols of modern monarchy, accessible, relatable, yet still cloaked in timeless grandeur. Still, not all voices are supportive. Some critics argue that the extravagance, the millions spent, the jewels, the palaces, feels excessive in a world facing hardship. Others whisper of rivalries within the royal houses, of unspoken jealousy among European heirs who now find themselves overshadowed by Leonor and Christian's radiance. But perhaps that is precisely why this moment matters. Because amid doubt, amid whispers, amid criticism, love persists. Love shines. Love, in its purest form, is celebrated before the eyes of nations. And so, as the world prepares to watch, we find ourselves asking, will this truly be the most lavish wedding in royal history? Or will it be something more? Not simply lavish, but legendary. For one day, the world will pause. Bells will ring across Madrid, flags will wave in Copenhagen, and two young royals will step forward, not as symbols alone, but as husband and wife. And as Leonor takes Christian's hand, the story of monarchy will be rewritten, not by treaties or thrones, but by the simplest, most powerful force of all, love. And when the final candle burns low, when the music fades, when the gowns and jewels are returned to their vaults, what will remain is not the lavishness, but the legacy. A legacy of two hearts who dared to choose one another, and in doing so, created a wedding not just for their kingdoms, but for the world. So yes, history will record this as the most lavish royal wedding ever. But in truth, it will be remembered as something far greater, the moment love itself became royal.